what's the variation?
November meeting, our meeting number 1214. Now we're holding it at Jim Noble's offices because Jim's going to give us a rundown on his upcoming auction, and yeah, we're going to have a good time. We have apologies from Frank and Grant Chauvier, Marie Brad, Joe Detling, Ron Bolden and Barry Towers. We have also got a few others here. Oh no, is there any other?
Colin Pitchfork.
Colin Pitchfork.
Sandy.
Colin and Sandy. Write it in the book, would you, John?
Okay.
Thank you.
Is he coming tonight?
Save me writing it later.
Yeah, you can put my daughter down. Chanel. She's doing an exam, I think. It's that time of the year. It says the year. But I said this is the easiest meeting to come to Dad's office. She was going to come in yesterday and ran out of time.
Alright. No other absentees? No. Okay, we'll go straight into general business. Our next meeting is on the 14th of December at Phyllis House. Back there, and we start at 8 PM at Phyllis House, as you all know. It's the December meeting, so it's a display competition and our Christmas social. So if you've got a little bit of a display that you can put together, please bring it along, and we'll all have a look at how we look after our collections. The ANS conference at Coffs Harbour is on the 12th and 13th of June 2021.
Is it supposed to be held this year?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be held this year,
Yeah.
and because of
The
COVID,
virus,
we did late. And I'm assuming it's going to be on, because come January, once all the borders are opened,
yeah.
I will then ask everyone who wants to come.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we can't get 20 people there, there's no point holding it.
Yeah.
I've got the place booked. But
Queensland's locked up still, so expect it'll be over by then.
yeah, but by June we hope they'll be back.
I haven't been able to go anywhere, which has been good. I've been getting work done, and Bob hasn't been able to go anywhere, which is even better.
Alright, is there any other general business does anyone wants to bring up?
Did you go to the thing yesterday?
Any more general business?
Oh, yeah. I went to Tony Jane's pop-up shop in
Ross mentioned something about the Tony James pop-up shop last month, didn't you?
Yeah. I was in one go. Well, I went. It was nice to see him and his partner with a couple of books.
Oh, good.
There you go.
It's only there for 6 weeks, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
the landlord's one of our customers. You all know him. Collector.
So can you enlighten us as to where the pop-up shop is?
Petersham. No.
Petersham.
Piedmont.
Piedmont.
Yeah,
Blue Point Road.
yeah, Glebe.
Oh, didn't you have a brochure on it last month, Ross?
There's one in the
Yeah, last month.
Yeah, last
there's one in the CAD magazine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the latest.
Admittedly, I didn't buy anything of Tony James, but I bought a book about...
It's on our video anyway. Anybody who wants to see the information, go to the ANS video.
Okay. Well, for 6 weeks.
Yeah, on
That's
the
probably why he was so tired when he was last Saturday. Oh, he was too busy.
Just a bit of news, John, while I'm thinking of it. One of our members, the late John Fisher Pollard, he was a good collector of English crowns and things. His widow, Jill, had gone to Canada, and she ended up having a little bit of a stroke over there, and she was in a nursing home. Well, her son rang me only the other day from Canada to tell me that she'd passed away. Quite unexpectedly, you know, she'd been just suddenly got ill and passed away aged 88. She was quite a personality, but she'd been affected by the stroke, and she couldn't play Scrabble and do things as well as she could, so I guess it's nice.
Wonderful family.
Yes, yes.
A little reminiscence on after the coin fairs, we'd sometimes have a shindig, and we went out on the Solway laps, and Jill Fisher Pollard and myself were up on the hill at the back of the boat, at the rear of the boat. We'd enjoyed ourselves. We'd had a good time. But we're offered the Solway Lass for, I think it was $1 million at that stage, and you know, Jill says, yeah, why not? You know, let's buy the Solway Lass.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a bit of news, and I don't think she was a member herself, but she might have been at one time.
Wonderful.
Right then, if there's no other general business, we'll invite Jim to tell us all about the numismatic marketplace and the highlights of his auction number 125.
Well, I've got plenty of these catalogues. If anybody would like one, anybody want to look at one while we're talking? Peter? Yeah, absolutely. I'll put it there for you, Peter. I've got one I'm going to use to know what I'm talking about, I think.
A marked copy.
Have you got the certificate?
You got something coming up in this one?
I only opened the catalogue this afternoon.
Oh, right.
Only just got back.
Yes. Yep.
Only just got back. But I have had a look. I had a look through it on the internet. It was on the internet.
It is the one that's been here.
Yes, but you know, there's enjoying
At the right spot.
yes, sort of.
Well, it's a very large auction coming up, and you know when it's being held? You all know? You know what month it is now? You know what day it is?
Cross the road.
Across the road, you go up the stairs there to the Dixon room, if you're allowed in. The State Library has social distancing requirements, so they might only set 15 seats up or something like that, a bit like this meeting. But really, no, they're not saying that, I don't think. We don't know. The rules do change. But the last auction was successful. We had a number of people there. But this time it's 4 days and 4 nights. So it starts on Tuesday morning at 9:30 and finishes late on Friday night. 3 sessions each day. There's 4,700 lots in the sale. There's a catalogue, this big one, which just came out, was delivered to us on Wednesday. It went out with Australia Post on Thursday, and people got it on Friday who were getting it express post, and some local people have been getting it today. It's in a big box that arrived. This one was printed about 2.5 months ago. This is part B. It's a specialised catalogue of the Robert Tonner collection of trading banknotes of New Zealand, and it's probably the best collection condition-wise to come up, and it's got some important rarities. And I did send a copy at his request to Jacinda Ardern, who I got a nice acknowledgement back from her secretary, or the person who takes responsibility for these sort of things, and acknowledging receipt of the catalogue. Didn't say they were buying anything, but they just, it's nice to get that official notification. The sale was difficult last time with our new Noble Life, so we've streamlined it a bit to cut back the sessions to 400 lots. There's 3 sessions a day, so you're looking at about 1,200 lots or 1,100 and something lots per day. The speed of the sale under those conditions means it should sell at about 120 lots an hour, which means about 2 lots a minute. So that's, I think, doable, especially on some lots. They go much quicker than others, but sometimes you have to sit there and wait for people to bid, and you can be there for a couple of minutes, 3 minutes, watching the bids coming in. So I'm looking forward to it. Quite tired doing it, but there's so much to keep doing. Oh, here's someone's arrived, one of the members. Hello.
Hello.
What stalls are available?
Thank you. Good, thank you.
We just started. We haven't been going for long.
Thank you. You're wonderful.
So about 2 lots a minute, so it should work out. My son Simon will probably do most of the sale, but Jonathan might sell in the afternoon like he did before. There's a lot of... this time we're hoping to get the online live bidding working so that you don't have to press the confirm button.
Yeah.
And you just, once you want to bid, you get your bid in and you know you're winning it. It's the company itself, Auction Mobility, has been taken over by another equity company, I think, some specialist. And I mean, maybe it's getting better and better, but we've also got the invaluable service running as well. So I've got to have 2 people operating consoles to accept the bids. So it should be interesting. There's a good amount of material. With the Victorian border opening on the Monday, there's a chance a couple of Victorians will make it up. But it doesn't give them much time to view. But we do the viewing through the actual auction itself, so you can come and view lots during the auction if you haven't got time to come in earlier. And if you're coming to a particular session, you might come over and view it, then go over to the session, and then you can leave at your leisure. Without any further ado, I'll start going through it in sort of catalogue order. Rather than showing you all the miscellaneous Australian lots, which are all interesting, and misstrikes and things, I haven't done that this time. I realise I haven't shown you the misstrikes, but some of the good misstrikes come, there's one spectacular one that comes from an old-time collector. So they're only pre-decimal. There's a nice brockage penny, but there's a florin where you can only just see the date, 1942. That's all that's struck on the coin. It's quite spectacular.
That was a nice brockage, though.
Yes. So that's little sections early in the session, you know, about lot 60, 70 around there. And then we go into some historical medals still in the same session. And we've got here the first one, which I'll get Rodney to show you. That's the lot 331. I'll read you the description. It's quite a high-priced item. I think we've sold it years ago. The collector who bought it's given it to us, and John, who does the cataloguing of these, hasn't been given any pedigree. 331. It's products of New South Wales, Sydney 1854, 73mm by L.C. Wine, who was the chief engraver at the Mint. It does those beautiful portraits of Queen Victoria on the gold and on the copper pennies, and it's very detailed on the reverse, one of the most beautiful medals made, and very few are known in silver. So it's a lovely medal. The estimate's 3,500. There's a copper one from the same dies for $600 in the next lot. The copper ones turn up more, or the bronze ones. So we've got a Thorthwaite medal that came in for the Horticultural Society. I haven't shown that, but that came in from someone in the country, which was nice to see something fresh turn up. Then there's this medal came in from a collector. I remember getting this in sale 1. I bought this medal. It came out from an old collection in England, and it's the Agricultural Society of New South Wales 90mm medal made for Hardy Brothers, and it's beautifully done, and it's in lovely condition. It was in sale 1, and then it was in sale 32 when I sold some of our best medallions. I had to pay some bills, unfortunately. And this was one of the ones I was just so pleased the collector came back with it. He was doing a bit of a tidy up. And I remembered it. I thought, oh, that's nice. I got a chance to get it back if I want it. And it's estimated at $1,000, so I think he paid $1,000 for it. Years ago, in sale 32. So we're up to sale 125 now.
Yeah.
So a lot of other nice medallions in the sale. At the beginning of this historical medal section, there are some convict love tokens which come to me from Peter Lane, who is an expert on that field, and he sent them over. So I'll be interested to see how they go. I didn't put any to show because they're hard to see in this light. Then there's some other medalettes or badges which are quite intriguing. This one, 369, says People's Liberal Party for Australia, a badge voided in gilt and enamel by Brigland and King, and it says for Australia, so it's a badge that says Australia for the Australians, White Australia.
Yeah. Yes. No year on it or anything?
Yeah, it's about 1917, something like that. There's another one.
I think we had a Liberal Party then.
There's one here for Australia and Empire. I will maintain, and it's by Symes of Sydney, and it's got a white map of Australia with a question mark, alluding to the same subject, probably. Then there's another one which is coming up, which I haven't had before. It's a patriotic badge. It says, "I will not buy German goods." So that's a wartime one, World War One.
We're all very open-minded, aren't we?
This is part of the social things being adopted in medallions and things.
Oh, that's a reasonable one. That's a different one.
Interesting.
Oh, that's that one.
We have gold medallions of Churchill and Menzies, a Matthew Garrett set. We have there's quite a lot of material. In the tokens, it's only a small field, but there's one great rarity, which turned up in a sale in the States, which we secured it for the auction. It's one of three now known of the Carl Patton penny with the portrait of Raglan. Lord Raglan was the man who got people to go out into the charge of the Light Brigade and get slaughtered. So he wasn't very popular. And the man who produced the die and produced the token obviously didn't get an order. So the three that have turned up in England. They never got to Australia. But it's one of them. I sold a really good example which was in Heidi's collection, and a local Sydney collector bought it a few years ago in auction for $37,000. But it was nice condition. The other one that we sold was from the Baldwin collection we sold in 1979, and that went to a Brisbane collector for a record price, outbidding the Morans at the time, which took a lot of courage and enthusiasm. So this one, I thought I just have to secure it because I know one or two people will want it, even though it's damaged. And the damage might be explained by the fact that it was a rejected piece. So someone just fooled around with it and damaged it. So I thought you'd like to see that because we haven't been able to show one here for a long time. Now, we skip all the second quality gold and silver, which is in the next part of the sessions of the auction, and go up to the evening session at 7 o'clock. And here's an Adelaide pound I sold in August 1986 to David Ross. David Ross was a good customer who bought quite a lot of gold coins, and he had 5 grandchildren he was building sets for, and one of the grandchildren decided to sell. And this is the Adelaide pound, which is in nice condition. It's photographed well, and it's on the
Building
front
5
cover.
sets with an Adelaide pound. Wow.
Well, you've got to have all the other rare coins too. I couldn't keep up the demand, the supply, especially for the rare day George V sovereigns, which I've given you a few to look at this time. So that's the beginning of the gold, and the first series we offer is a collection of Sydney Mint sovereigns, which is very high quality. A man's been putting together over a period of about 30 or 40 years, and he's got each one in high grade. That's the 1855. There's quite a few of these have turned up over the years, the first type sovereigns, but they're usually pretty circulated and used and have...
Ross showed us a very nice one last month.
Okay.
In a slabbed, unfortunately, but...
Well, I didn't show you any slab coins this time. I thought they're too hard to do on the screen. But this is the 1856.
7-9.
This isn't the same grandchild, is it?
No, this is a man in Sydney who wished to remain anonymous. I would like to have put his name on it because I always think it's more authentic. But you know, he put these away by buying them, waiting for the best ones to come up in our auction and buying them piece by piece. The prices he paid are like the estimates we've got here. So they haven't been cheap over the years, these coins. There's an 1858 that he got, what, 793, and that was originally in our sale 7 and then sale 110. I got the right one here. We haven't had time to check all this stuff. Yeah, that's 1858. Yep. It's got a tag with it from
Oh, that's
the Rare Coin Company for 62,000. So it's a bargain. It's only 9,000.
It would be for the rear coin company.
I haven't mentioned that. I don't know where. Does that say 1858 on that red?
1858.
Yeah, does that say it there on,
So that one
on
there.
that tag?
Yes.
797.
1858.
Yeah, that's it.
9,000.
More feels. Okay.
Condition, though.
Beautiful for 1858. We put it on the front cover for the second type,
Oh,
Sydney Mint Sovereign. The
that's
obvious.
beautiful.
First year of the second time.
The 1857 is the first year. This is 1858, which is the hardest year of all of them. Here's a beautiful 1860, lot 795, and it could be an overdate, sort of a 60 over 1859. It's very hard. It's like a double-ended O, but then is it a double-ended O? Why is it O double-ended? Is it over a 9? The bottom of the 9 showing there. So
They might have had it.
very intriguing coin. Mint condition virtually.
I can't even tell under.
15 grand brass at the bottom.
There is a sort of little loop under the O, though, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it could be over the 9. Yeah.
Oh, well, they all go onto the computer and they get the mouse and go over the image and you get it beautifully enlarged. You get better images on the screen in the computer than you do in the catalogue. So it's a good facility. You should utilise it
I do.
when you're studying the coins.
You know all those proclamation coins? The image is courtesy of Noble and Company.
Good, yes.
That's in like 17.
That's a nice
Oh,
one, too.
18.
That's a beautiful condition one. That's slot
800.
And that's
What,
the
800?
1864, which is, I've said, is underlying brilliance, proof-like, and one of the finest known, and the estimate's 4,500. I think Ross would like to buy all these. He's got very wealthy clients. You just get busy, Ross, and we're running out of time.
1864.
All you have to do is sell a few more parrots.
Yeah, but that one's 1864 too.
Oh, the better 1864.
Yeah.
But as I wrote in the preface, this is one of the best gold sales we've had, so it'll be a memorable sale. And when you see the half sovereigns, I've got a few to show you, you'll see what I mean. Now, the next mint sovereign I'm going to show you is the first year of the second type, which is 1857. And this one's from Dr.
We're still looking
Bill
at 808.
Bryan's collection. 808, yes, did I tell you what that was?
No.
1870.
1870. I just picked that out because it's only 2,500. It's beautiful, uncirculated.
That is
It is a nice one.
That's just gorgeous.
1872.
Yeah, uncirculated. Now this one, the 1857, is one of the best of the first year of the second type, 1857. It's lot number 811. 7,500 is the estimate. Dr. Bryan was an orthopaedic surgeon. I'm selling on behalf of his family. His son brought the collection to me. He's passed on, but he was apparently well known, well respected medical doctor, and so we'll see. Hope his coins go well. So I had his collection, and then I got the David Ross collection, and the granddaughter's wanting to buy a property or something, and could I get them into this sale? I thought, all right, I'm doubling up a bit. Yeah, okay. So that's how I had to explain it to Dr. Bryan's son. This collection came in after yours. They wanted to sell it this time. So you've got a lot of material on the market, but sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that makes people more inspired, realise an opportunity not to be missed. So the David Ross collection's yielded an 1855 half sovereign, the very rare Sydney Mint half sovereign 1855. It's a worn one, but it comes from the Reserve Bank of Australia auction. It was bought by Kurt Jaggard, and he sold the coin to David Ross. I think he paid 32,000 for it or something. It's in at 20,000. It's hard to explain to some of these people, why are the coins down? Well, you know, they're not exactly down. Sometimes they sold at very high prices. And so you've got to explain the market,
Yes, sometimes.
how it changes. And it's all about condition. And then but people wanting to complete collections, you rush in and get it if you can. 'Cause, you know, they are impossible to get 1855. This is an 1857, which was bought from our sale 26.
It's nice.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. So that's estimated at 6.5.
Oh, look at the condition, beautiful.
Yeah. So I did go out of my way to selling good coins. That is 1858 is it's quite nice as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not as good. That's that one there.
The other one was nicer.
That's 5,000. Yeah, this one's not as good. This was from sale 62. You've got to realise there's been 5 collections like this put together for this family. So, and it included cracked eye pounds, but the girls had to play second fiddle to the boys, so the boys, the grandson's got the best collection.
Most unfair.
So I'm looking forward to the best one to see it, because there's some coins in here I reckon couldn't be bettered. So it's interesting how people work out the grading. The 1859 here, oh, it's as good as the one that I saw once sell for 54,000 to a crazy buyer in 1980.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, that's nice.
Remember that?
A lot more copper in that one.
Yeah, that's a lovely coin. That's a attractive reddish tone over full mint bloom, nearly unseen and very rare, one of the finest known. Ex-Mink Australia sale 30, lot 1438. So that was back in 1989, November 89. So that's 30 years ago.
Jim, the elevated prices of gold today, has it been affecting the high quality gold coins or not?
Not as much, but it certainly makes it more attractive. You know, gold overall. People, this one for some reason has been mounted on a card because it's got a ticket there on an envelope. But it's an 1880 Melbourne Shield. Magnificent. You can take it out if you want to. That's one of the Shield sovereigns in this collection. This one was bought from Spink London in 1986. I mean, I bought it for him from Spink London. It's a lovely 1880.
Oh, yes.
This one over here. This one.
I don't know if that doesn't belong with the lot. So something has gone really wrong. What have we got here?
Oh, this new bottle that's on the screen.
Yeah, 862.
1879. Is that 1879 or 18?
It is.
Oh,
That was
okay.
1879 on the
Yes,
screen.
it's
I've
1879.
picked up the wrong. What have I done here? Oh, I know what I've done. This is lot 862. It's the one with the variety. Oh, it wasn't identified. This is, sorry, I got ahead of myself. This is the one which has a die break from the rim to the C, making the C look like an O.
Oh, okay.
And this variety is listed in the McDonald's and Renix, but people didn't know about it, I guess, at the time. And when I was examining the coins, oh, this is the rare variety. So when I normally would have thought, you know, put $1,000, I put 2,000 on it, but I know they've sold for over 10,000 in that condition.
Wow. Okay. So you probably get that.
So that was an exciting find that Dr. Bryan didn't even know he had that variety. See?
He was very happy with the result, wasn't he?
Well, his family are. I guess. 864. This is the 1880 from Spinks in London in 1986. I mean, there are so many sovereigns of good quality. Shield sovereigns, St George sovereigns, Queen Victoria. But you can't show them to you. You can just have the catalogue and look at them. And the minimum price for a sovereign today is about $700 and something.
Wow.
The prices are estimated from as low as 500 a coin to, for average ones, up to 650 or 600, and you're paying 20% on top, remember, at an auction. So they're only coming in at gold value or under gold value, some of them. The market for gold is good because people are realising there's low interest rates, there's a bit of uncertainty in the world, and a lot of people are being advised to have a bit of money put away in gold and silver. I had one of my customers tell me that he had a financial advisor told him to do that. I said, well, it so happens I've got 25 ounces of gold here. He said, well, the Perth Mint only gives me a certificate and charges me a fee for holding it. So I'll take that, the real thing.
Why not? Why not?
He also took a 5 kilo bar. Well, he's coming back for the auction, but he took a 5 kilo bar away because he was down from the country, which I was glad. I don't like posting 5 kilo bars out.
Silver.
Silver, yeah. But the gold's in ounces, silver's in kilos. So the lot 928 is the first of the rare date sovereigns. This is a 1921 Melbourne. It was bought from KJC in 2006. I mean, it's a super rare coin. These rare George V dates just haven't turned up. And when the Bentley collection was sold, these were making very strong prices, all these type of coins.
21.
I'm just hoping that Kurt Jaggard is going to come back in the market because he sold a house in Manly for 10 million and bought an apartment in Manly for 5. So theoretically he's got 5 million. He could be trouble for you, Ross. Be good to see. Competition in an auction. Nothing like it. Get the fever going again. This one's the 1922 Melbourne. It was a little house on the beach. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What little man?
No, mainly up just the northern end of the beach, right on fronting the you walk out of the house and right down to the beach. Yeah.
Queenscliff side. Yeah.
Must be.
Well, I don't know. The ocean side, I guess.
Still have a road in front of you.
No. I think it looked like it didn't have a road in front of it. I might be confused. I didn't see it. Because one of my customers, I noticed, one of my customers lives in this block of apartments in Manly, and he said, Kurt Jaggard came into the auction and bought the apartment which was sold. I was interested to see how it went, and it went for 5 million. He just put his hand up and bought it. It's done well out of sovereigns, obviously.
Yes. Well out of his gold.
No, he's been spending quite a few years buying and selling principal place of residence. This is a 1922 Sydney. Now this comes from Dr. Bryan's collection, not David Ross's collection. So it's amazing. I've got 2 1922 Sydneys in the one sale. I'll have to talk Bob Jaggard into buying them. I don't know who I'm going to talk into.
Was that the last year of Sydney? Or?
No, 26 is the last. I've got that coming up, David. I know you've been waiting in suspense for that one.
They're medieval, David.
I didn't put the other. I didn't put the 23 Sydney out, which is the one Tony always wanted.
I haven't got any spare cash either.
Here's the 1926 Sydney, which is the really rare coin. I should talk to the library because they've got some sovereigns they need replacing over there in the 1920s.
Do they have a display book?
Only certain coins are on display over there. In the Dixon collection they had a complete collection, but they had a student looking at it and some of the coins.
Oh.
Oriental gentleman years ago. Everyone knows the story.
David G. Yes.
Lot 959 is the first of the Imperial half sovereigns. It's an 1881 Sydney. It's like a proof. The obverse, the feels brilliant.
Oh my goodness, yes.
That's a
It was bought from Spink Australia, sale 30, the Sharps Pixley collection. So Mr. Liddell must have sold it to him. I don't know where he got it from. It's a beauty. It's only got 6,000 on it. You'd have to fight for that one, surely. So that's 1881, and then there's an 1887 Sydney Young Head, which is also 6,000 from the David Ross collection. It comes from sale 27, the RG&C Pratley collection. And then earlier from sale 18.
Had some bills to pay.
Sale 27 was a beauty.
That one there, is that? Okay.
That's back in 1989. In fact, the catalogue ran out before the auction. I was buying it back for $40 a copy, just to have a few. That's never happened again. That's why I've got bloody boxes of catalogues everywhere, oversupply.
Well, it's more of this.
One day they'll be binned.
More like with the 730.
That's when I'm infirm
93.
and very sad. I've got pressure from family, from staff. Get rid of all this stuff.
You have a
can
sale.
see I'm surrounded with
Sell
the
them off.
No, I haven't got time. It takes so long to sell things. I'll never do it. Well, after doing Mark Friels, I thought, well, it's going to take me years to get rid of the books and things. And who's buying them? You people won't buy them, so I end up having to buy them. It's hopeless. He was a hoarder. He ended up with a house he couldn't move in.
Wow.
This is in 1891 Sydney. I met Mark over there on those steps at the Numismatic Society in 1960.
That is beautiful.
So I've been a member for 62 years.
Wow.
Or, no, sorry, 60 years, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, 60
About that.
years.
Yeah.
You're only 62, so... that's
Mark was a
60 years.
member in I think he joined in 56.
Wasn't much before you.
No,
You, Colin, and Mark were all
yeah.
much the
Mark
same
was
time.
in for a few years before. He was a fanatical collector. He loved museums too.
He's the one who got me in as a member.
Mark, did he? Wow.
Yeah, well, I used to go to Marta Daniels
Yes.
to buy Hong Kong and Straits there, and he kept hammering at me, join the society, join the society,
That was
join
good.
the society.
Oh, he could recognise your talent, see? I'll tell you what, we thank Mark for that because
Yes, he did
we
very
can't do without you. You've been a gem. So that's the end of the goal. That last Jubilee half sovereign's estimated at 3,000 and it's from the Dr. Bryan collection. It's choice uncirculated.
I've been a member for 40 years.
There are some things in slabs. There's a 1912 milled edge pattern threepence, which I've shown before here, that was in John Saxton's collection, and there's a 1914H proof sovereign, slabbed by PCGS, Florin, slabbed by PCGS as PR66. So it's a unique coin and estimated accordingly, 150,000. But all three that they had there, I've handled. I handled them for a lot lower money in the early days. This is a nice from Dr. Bryan's collection. This Canberra Florin. It's got, I think, Kurt's writing there, but or is it Barry Windsor's? I think it's Barry Windsor's actually. He used to buy these from me for $200,
That's a nice.
$400 each or something.
That's a beautiful one.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it's estimated at 7,500. It's a very good proof. Baldwin's had a tissue, they had them rolling. Here's George Pilowski. Hi George.
One
Going through Australian goals.
Get another chair. Pass that chair over.
Oh, good, good.
Get another one.
Beautiful one.
So that's a nice proof. And Baldwin's had 40 wrapped up. John Doyle, who was a member of our society, remember seeing him before it. I remember looking at them. And then Peter Mitchell gradually had let me buy one every time I went to their shop in London, you know, pay £200 for it and bring it back. And Barry Windsor would have to have it.
And
Oh, yeah.
they with a light on them
Oh, yeah.
and everything.
If those sort of deals didn't save these things, I guess they wouldn't be around.
Jim, we all know we're only the temporary holder of them.
Exactly.
Everything that you have will
Custodian.
come on the market, yes. Temporary custodian.
Keeping it.
There are some good proofs from the slab collection, which didn't sell the last time, and some new ones. And then we go into the currency issues, and rather than showing you the slab ones again, I picked out this 1918 florin because a chap brought it in who brought me in the medallion that I showed you earlier,
Oh, that's a nice
the big agricultural one. And
Victorian.
he had this wrapped up in tissue with a lot of coins. And I thought, gee, that's a nice 18 florin. It's in mint condition. I said, oh, it's got to be worth a few dollars. But, you know, so
1918H.
he said it's part of his tidy up. I said, did you have any others? He said, well, I did have a big box of coins, but I left them with some dealer on the north side a few decades ago, and I didn't hear from him again. I don't know what happened. So I don't know. He's more of an Australiana collector than a coin collector, but this is a beautiful florin.
Yes, it is.
So that is the buy of the sale if you get it for the estimate, 2,500. There's another 18 florin, the one before, which he only wants 5,000 for, and I thought, well, they're virtually in the same condition. I can't have one at 1,000 and one at 5,000, so I upped that to 2.5. But he would have been quite happy with 1,000. You can all get together and keep the price down. You can try. This is a florin I love, and I put it on the front cover because of the colour. And this came from the Wright collection. Bill Wright was a member of the society. He had the
1066.
It's a beauty in colour. Gorgeous colour. So once Australian collectors get more sophisticated like their American brothers, you know, they'll value this highly, I hope. The man who puts these few coins together, he's got a very good eye. He put those sovereigns, shouldn't have been sovereigns together in some of these silver coins.
6,364.
Oh, it is lovely, isn't it? It's in 66. It's this one here. Oh, hang on.
26.
Now,
26, yeah.
the rest of the Australian silver in the night session are good. There's not too many of them, so it's not too long. But there's a 1930 penny I want to show you, and it's got the original invoice with it. The man brought it in, he said, my mother passed away recently, and here's the 30 penny she had, and he had a whole lot of other bulk coins. And this is the original invoice from 1983.
What did he pay for it then?
I think it's 4,000.
Oh, looks like one.
4,150.
But the dealer was a very high-priced dealer, I might add, you know.
R&C Pratley.
How much?
4,150.
Pounds or shit.
It's now $15,000 estimate. It's not a bad coin.
Oh,
It's enlarged in the catalogue, and there is another 30 penny. I was speaking to Tony Bryan, Dr. Bryan's son, and I said, look, I reduced yours to 10,000 from 15 because when we took it out of the holder, we noticed it had been worked on. It's a good coin, but I think someone's taken the surface back, and if you set it over for grading, they'd say environmental damage, cleaning or something, they wouldn't grade it. So I said, I put it down at a lower price, even though it's very sharp, to try and get you a good bidding interest. Okay, there's a lot of English coins in the next day, starting in the morning, and Scottish and Irish. And I thought I'd show you this William Conker penny that Bill Gordon Sutherland, he was Gordon William Sutherland, his son's Bill, and I'm a William James, so, you know, it's famous Norman name, William. This is a bonnet penny of London, and because it's got a piece out of the side, you can buy it for $400. Normally it'd be $2,000 or $3,000.
Got all the portrait there.
So it's got the features you'd like. Incidentally, Spinks recently sold a very good Anglo-Saxon collection called the Ennismore collection. And Alan Williams, who was here the other day, he said, he went to uni with me. He's an Australian. Oh, I said, oh. He said he lives, that collection's named after his house in Mayfair. It's a 4-storey house. He lives in London. And he buys good coins, which he sure does. It was a very spectacular collection containing the best of Anglo-Saxon coins.
Yeah, I had a look at it, but first of all, it was on about the middle of the night, unfortunately, and I realised that St Peter penny, which was estimated at £5,000, I thought maybe that would be a one to go for. Ended up going at £26,000.
My God. So you didn't buy it?
I didn't buy it. They're all went very well, very strongly.
Yeah. I think it's overseas markets particularly strong.
Oh,
You've all probably,
and the English market.
yeah, you've heard that a Roman gold coin sold for the highest price for an ancient coin, $6 million Australian, virtually. For a gold aureus of
Looks like over the six.
Brutus, Mark Antony, for the Ides of March, the assassination of Caesar. You've got that includes the buyer's premium, 2.7 plus the juice, converts to 6 million Aussie.
167.
I've got one in the vault, honestly. I just don't know where it is exactly, but we couldn't match the dies up. The bloke had, I said, I think it's a forgery. He keeps wanting it back. Well, he's a school teacher, he wanted it back, but I think either I gave it back to him or it's still there in the vault. It's in gold.
Got another customer like that.
Plenty of them. That's a crown that there's the Plantagenet groats and things of the Henrys and Edwards, and then this is an Edward VI crown, which is one of the few big crowns that Gordon Sutherland had. And I remember meeting Gordon Sutherland at our meetings way back. He used to come to our meetings all the way down from Newcastle. Very nice gentleman. And it was a pleasure to get his collection consigned. So I spent a lot of time on it. And, well, you can't avoid it, but it was reasonably laid out, all in packets. I've saved every packet in case there's a query about something. That's why my office gets so crowded with junk. So that crown's estimated 1,500, that Edward VI, so that's affordable. This is an interesting coin that turned up in his collection. A pattern groat of Charles I. You wouldn't expect that. Mint mark bell, it's estimated at 500. Sort of looks a little bit like a Brio style of production, but I don't think it is. Certainly in North it's extremely rare, so I couldn't find it in the normal catalogue. Had to look it up in North. So that's an unusual thing to find. I've never had one before. I checked the Charles I collection we had years ago, which was very good, but I didn't have it. This is another coin that turned up in the collection, a Charles I Pontefract besieged shilling.
Oh, right.
It's very worn on one side, but I mean it's identifiable. And the 1648 issue, it's estimate $1,000. If you have a nice one, good, very fine, it's $15,000.
So, 2 Pontefracts and 2 auctions. It's good. Yeah. And one last auction too.
So we've got a lot of There's the worst Cromwell shilling you could buy. Not only is it worn, it's got a big hole in it. So that's only estimated at $400.
George collects coins with holes in them.
Out of a Cromwell shilling. Well, you can. I haven't got it to show you, George. It's inside, but you know, cheap enough. Then there's series of English. We go through all the usual English, which I thought, well, you've seen it all before, and we haven't got all night. And when one guy gave me his pennies, well, they're good. Bronze pennies. One lot I got 1868, 1870, 1875, 1875 each, all in nice condition. Well, these are really rare coins. Anyway, the 6 of them there for $750. There's some 19th century English silver tokens. There's Scottish from the Sutherland collection. He'd be a good Scot, so there's quite a few Scottish silver coins, some copper, and then some Irish. And then we go to the session commencing in the afternoon at 2 o'clock on the second day with the English gold. And there's some hammered gold from Sutherland, about 4 pieces, and then there's some milled. And I thought I'd pick out this Charles II Guinea of 1670, It's evenly worn, but it's good fine, and it's only $1,500. I mean, you've got to make your own mind up what you want to pay for things, but really, it's hard to buy these things. So get in there and bid. Don't be afraid to submit bids to me. I'll look after you. Make sure you get them. If I can.
It's not that easy sometimes.
No, it's...
Nowadays there's a lot of competition.
We've noticed that. There's a lot of sovereigns that are not illustrated in groups of 3, and they come from an institution. They're 500 each, so you just go in there your hardest to try and buy them. There's usually a lot of people competing for those. There's a £5 piece of Edward VII. Then some historical medals of England. Nothing too spectacular. I noticed one there of Sir Francis Chichester. One of my customers sent me a few things, and I thought it was odd that he sent me that, but it's such a large medallion. It's worth its weight in silver, $120. And there's a few world coins then start in the middle of the session, and that starts with A to Z, but it starts with A, and we go to Bahamas. There's a Bahamas George III penny from Mark Friel's collection, and then a Bermuda penny, 1793, and then a very good run of British Honduras. And I picked out a nice cent because I know we all like to collect our coins like this. This is a cent of 1889, full mint red. It's got a little bit of carbon on the obverse, but it's lovely full red for a coin that old. It's only $200.
Reminds me of my Hong Kong collection.
Just before you go on, you mentioned that Bahamas penny.
Yeah.
The illustration there looks like a halfpenny, is it?
It's that size, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, they call it a penny.
Okay.
Isn't it intriguing? That's the English halfpenny. Normally size of 1806, yeah, but they denominate it as a penny.
Interesting obverse. Reverse, I mean.
Yeah, it's a nice
Could you
coin.
read the inscription on it?
I can't, but
I'll tell you what it says.
okay.
Pirates have been expelled, commerce can be restored.
That's right, yeah. You
And in
remind me
06
now.
they finally got rid of the pirates.
So that's an interesting coin. You should buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got the story.
See how many other people
It's something you can tell the great grandchildren. That's
Yes.
all right. The small British Honduras going through the silver issues, and then we come to places like British North Borneo. I didn't pick any of those out. There's some lovely mint condition copper coins. British North Borneo cents and half cents. And British trade dollars, quite a few from Mark Street. And then there's on the front cover I've illustrated this anchor money, British colonies in general, $half. They call it anchor money because it had an anchor on it, and the $half, the anchor is the obverse, and the George IV name is the reverse. It says colonies of Britain in general. So they used them a lot in the West Indies, but also in Mauritius. And we've got a few in this site because they come from a couple of different collections. There's some from Sutherland, some from Freehill, and one from another collector.
Where were those struck?
They were struck in Great Britain. Probably at the Mint. George IV, end of George III's reign, beginning of George IV. I didn't put any Chinese out because you see it a lot. We've got some good Chinese dollars in there from one vendor. There's some good Cyprus, and I said to Bob, I'll put that nice Cyprus piastre on the front cover. So it's caught someone's attention on the internet because he's given me a massive bid on it, even though it's estimated at 500. So you can bid what you like on it. You won't get it, I don't think. He wants it.
Heaton Mint. Okay. 1831H.
1881.
1881H. Yes.
I don't know where Mark got that. I don't think I sold it to him. I used to have a collection of Cyprus. I sold it to a bloke called Bill Barrett back in 1967. I had a good lot of Cyprus and a good lot of other Mauritius bronze coins. They weren't like quite that condition. Some were. I should have stuck with that field collecting. You can see it gets to you if you've been through it before and you get them in again. It kindles the interest, excitement. If you can't get excited about coins, well, then you're not getting any fun out of it. You need to get excited about it. So there's a lot of nice East Africa. The other Cyprus lot has got a story because that's one that I think I bought from Spinks for Bob. And in Bob's sale, Mark bought it, that set. It's got the card on the back, you see. It's attached to it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but that set went for 3,900 back in sale 85 B, and now we're estimating it at 4,000.
Oh.
But you're unlucky because the bloke who bid on the 1 piaster's also bid on that.
So you're not going to get it anyway.
Well, no, please try.
Where's he? What country is he from?
I don't know.
I would
Sounds like a
assume
Greek
it
name.
sounds like he's from Cyprus.
Oh, so it's going home then.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he's
Only the first bidder. I mean, it's only just been published, the catalogue. Yes, Morris?
I heard you on the radio talking about the largest
Opal, yes. So you listened to 2GB. They recorded me about 12:30 today, so I don't know when you heard it, but the television are interested in it too. I mean, it's something I could show you, I suppose. I could bring it out and
Yeah,
show you. Would you like to see the largest black opal?
Black opal, wow, yes.
Where from?
Lightning Ridge, Lisa.
it's in the cabinet at the back, is it?
No, I've got it in the vault. They're very delicate, these opals. You gotta treat them carefully. Don't want to break it. But his wife, he and his wife have been opal mining in Lightning Ridge. They still live there. I sold gold bullion coins for him, and he said, "You did very well for me, and I want you to handle my opal." Oh, what's this opal? So he said, "Well, it's in the Guinness Book of Records." So he flew down with his wife with it, and gave it to me when the virus was on. And yeah, so now I've got to sell it for 700,000.
So did he mine it?
Yeah. He's willing to talk to the media and everything. It's quite an exciting thing. The media seems to have taken to it. It's been published in 69 papers Australia-wide today. One story, it's syndicated, gone out to all the country papers. I can't crack the city rags, but I've got to... I don't know.
Do the TV and you'll
I just thought my publicity, it's gone out. Ian sent it a bit early, sending it Monday, but it's probably just as well. So we'll look at the opal in a while. Now we're continuing on. This is a nice British East Africa 10 cents in proof. 1937, George VI. And it's got a good pedigree. It comes from Mark Friel's collection. We bought it in one of our sales when we sold duplicates from the Museum of Victoria. So it's a Royal Mint product, gone to the museum and never been handled. It's in lovely condition. They're excited about proofs now. But I've only put a low price on it, so you can afford it, you guys. What, it's 1877. I'll tell you, we're only looking for, it's 1942, sorry, I said 37. The one before it's 37, that one's 1942, and it's $500. Oh, this is interesting. In Mark's Fiji, there was this little lot of misstrikes. A lot of people love misstrikes. There's one with a out of hole stamped, a halfpenny, a hole off centre and a penny, and a shilling misstruck with a plain edge slipped out of the collar.
Yeah. Someone put the hole in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
And the whole,
Must be on Friday night again.
So that lot is estimated at $300, those four. He's got a very good Fiji collection. It's all in one lot. Very good Fiji. There's some interesting German coins, but in the Fiji, where am I going? I've got another piece. Oh yeah, this one, 1883. This intrigued me when I came across it in his stuff. I said, what the hell's he got here? Viti Levu, half penny, spelled P-E-N-I, 1872, SSTC, South Sea Trading Company, Thackenbauer Rex, and he's written unique. I've never seen it before, but it's handcrafted by punching letters into a little blank So maybe they used these in conjunction with the notes they were used
Up there.
in Fiji at that time.
Takebar Rex period.
Never been seen before. He's never mentioned it to me before. Anyone heard of that piece?
Nope.
Is it a fantasy created by a collector? Who knows?
I wouldn't
But
think
Mark's
so.
fanatical on Fiji, and he's been to the archives and researched it. I've got all these piles of documents. I don't know how I'm going to sort through it.
South Sea Tea Company
No, South Sea Trading Company.
or trading company?
That's what he thought it was.
Okay, yeah. It's sort of king.
Interesting.
So it's $400. How did I get that price? How did I work it out?
I might go more than that.
Through the dark.
Yes.
Oh, because Rodney's here, I put in a little Hong Kong coin for him to yearn about from the old days. That's from John Mellick's collection.
$50.
It's a
I
nice
knew he had one, but when I did his stuff before, I found the envelope, but not the coin. This time,
67?
the next group
66
of
or
coins brought in,
67?
this was there.
66.
66, yeah, no,
Shame it's not the 67.
Yeah,
67 is a real hard one.
yeah. But it's a Hong Kong $half. Reasonable. I think
nice.
I've got 500 on it.
Yeah.
Yep, 500.
Very interesting piece.
Oh dear.
It's a nice one, isn't it?
collect them, right?
Yeah. Used
Mark
might
sold-
have been from my
Mark
collection.
sold his Hong Kong. If you're wondering what happened, Mark sold his Hong Kong to Bill McFarlane, who was in Verugulas, way back in about 82, and he used to sell his world coins, countries by date runs. He collected the world by date out of a brown cabinet we had in the vault, and he got someone interested. He'd sell the whole set off. So a lot of his world coins got sold long ago. But they wouldn't have a lot of money. But his Hong Kong was a special good deal. He got good money for it because Bill was fanatical and
Oh, Bill paid
upgraded
good
his-
prices.
yeah.
Yeah. I paid
And-
good prices for Hong Kong
And
too.
then his other thing was what was the other country he had? Oh, Canada. He had a very good 1875 quarter. which
Bill
was-
McFarlane was an interesting man too.
Yeah. Oh, he had a great collection. Fantastic. That was one of our greatest sales.
He was in
48.
Hong Kong during the war. He was in the volunteers and spent 4 years in the POW.
This is a foreign coin that came from an estate. It's a papal coin of Innocent, 1600. It's got quite an intricate design on the reverse. David might be able to tell us what it's all about. I'd have to read the catalogue to tell you. A silver piastre, a scudo of 80 Bolognini, 1696. It's got a gathering of people at the Pope, I guess in the Papal House or something. Isn't it?
Big house.
It's got 1696 on it.
Yeah. Anyway, it's estimated at 500. There's a lot of good Jamaica, but then we've got a place called Keeling Cocos Islands,
Uh-huh.
and I know these look like something cheap, but you wait till you see how they go at the auction. This is Mark's little set of the plastic tokens, 10 of them, for $900.
68, so the later ones.
He's got the,
What about the Clooney's Ross ones?
yeah, he's got
them too?
those. He hasn't got a full set. He's got a 25 cents, which has been altered in its shape
Set.
to resemble a 50 cent.
Right.
That's in one of the two in the next lot.
Should be 927.
So where were those, mate?
In a plastic factory somewhere. I don't know.
But it says 1968.
I need to be as quick as Donald Trump, I think, with an answer.
They're not good.
Well, you won't be hearing from
You
him
gotta
too
believe
much
it.
longer.
We hope.
He might end up winning and getting that.
That's right. Stranger things have happened. He was supposed to boost the gold price for me.
Heaven forbid.
That's Russian ruble. It's coming up on the second day in the night session. Yeah, lot 1973. Then there's some good Sarawak coins. I only show one. You've got to look at all these coins when you come to the viewing. They're really good. Now this is a Sarawak 50 cents of C.B. Brook, dated 1900. Estimate's 500. They're very hard to get where they haven't been fiddled about with. They're usually in jewellery, they've got cut edges and they try to be clever and recut the edge after they've mounted it. But they're very interesting coins. The only reason some good ones exist is because the Birmingham Mint made a lot of them and they had an archive. So they had 3 of everything. And those
Charles
came on
Viner
the market.
Brook.
But some of the old time dealers like Ballers and that would save a little box of quarter cents of 1896. You know, they'd have 500 of them in mint red condition. They've been spread around there.
He had a glass eye, did Charles Viner Brook, and he used to take a delight in upsetting people by taking his eye out.
How did he get the glass eye?
I don't know.
He must have an accident. That would be unnerving though, wouldn't it? Really?
Suddenly the eye comes out.
Especially an important person, you're sort of giving your audience and you wow.
The Brook family ruled Sarawak until 1941, and when the Japanese took it over at the end of the war, it became part of British Malaya, Malaya and British Borneo.
That's right. This is a 50 cents of straight settlements. I just show it as an example because there are about 20 odd of these Queen Victoria 50 cents in the sale, which is unusual. Mark had a good run and John Mellick had some. So I've illustrated them. And funnily enough, they didn't have the key dates, the 1889 or the 1893, but they've got all the others. So there's quite a lot of them. These are neighbours of ours, they're up there north, Malayans and Singaporeans, and so we should all collect their coins. They certainly
I
can.
did. I even joined the Malaysian Numismatic Society to get the coins.
To show you the strength of Chinese collectors, this is lot 2063, which is some Tibet coins from 1796 to 1820, and there's a very strong bid on this. It's estimated 500 for 6, but the Chinese are competing against each other already for these. Lot 2096 is a little coin of a place called Washington, Fanning Island. But it's actually Fanning Island Plantations Limited. It's engraved on a Fiji florin, which I've had it on the Australian florin. I don't think I've had it on the Fiji, and that was in Mark's collection, quite dark toning. Preceding this lot, I didn't show them to you because they're very powdery looking, being made of aluminium. He's got the full set of Washington Fanning Island tokens, 12.5 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents and $1. Or is it a Chilean peso, because it's off the coast of Chile. It's a very strategic place, and as you know, there were notes put out for the plantation there on Fanning Island. They had bisected and used them for theatre tickets in World War II. In Australian currency. It's quite interesting. So that's a good set of those. The 12.5 cents I've only ever seen 2 or 3. Has anyone ever had one here?
No.
So he had the set. And he's got I didn't show you, but he's got a Zanzibar coin of 1908, the 1 cent, which is a rare coin. Now, these Indian coins, which I didn't have time to do everything, so I got Colin to do the British India, and they come up at the end of the 9th century after the banknotes. So I'll just go to banknotes for a second. Would you believe I've got some here to show you? There's plenty of banknotes. But I just thought I'd show you something interesting. That's an interesting note. It's never been seen before. Turned up in Victoria. Had a lot of trouble to get it from the young man who inherited it. He's carrying on about it. Insists on a 30,000 estimate. I said, well, it's worth 20. Anyway, he's going to let it go for 20. It's got Chinese writing down each side. Issued in Melbourne.
Any idea of the
bank.
date?
1909.
Oh.
So they were trying to attract Chinese customers. A lot of them were working in the gold fields and whatever, and in businesses. And a man rang me up. He said, "I've got an old pound note. I've got coins. I mean, what's the signature on your pound note?" "Oh, is it Collins and Allen or 30?" "Ah, Collins and Allen. Yeah, that's it." So he brought it in, and lo and behold, it turned out to be a rainbow pound. Never been seen before, so it's in with an estimate of 5,000.
3471.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't give it a lot numbers around. For those who are collecting tribal art, we've got New Guinea tribal art behind you. We've got a model ship of the Caroline 1749, or 39, sorry, George II's Royal Yacht, handmade by a man in 1991. There are two big maritime paintings out the back, oil paintings, beautiful. Painted by a man called Ian Hansen, beautiful oils of ships in Sydney Harbour during World War II. And in the sale I've got somewhere a little souvenir of the midget submarine story where they sold souvenirs, pieces of the midget sub. And there was a bloke on radio today when I was driving back from my mother-in-law's. I happened to catch it, and he was talking about the midget subs and what happened. It was an interesting, intriguing story. You should read about it, find out what happened, how many people were involved, and how advanced the Japanese were with their submarines. And they sent a plane up to do a survey, reconnoitre around the harbour, and everybody thought it was from the American ship. It was one of these fold-up planes they'd devised, and they had on their submarines.
Yeah, they flew around Sydney for a day.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed.
Yeah.
You know, the Jap-
1942. And a couple of days later they attacked, they wanted to attack the big warships, but they ended up blowing up a ferry, I think.
Cuttable.
People got killed.
I think they had as many as 3 on the one submarine.
Two men.
No, they only had one on each submarine. I think they had four big submarines. One had a plane.
Two men, a crew of 2.
Yeah.
Crew of
the midget
two,
sub.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there's some Aboriginal works here too. There's an old collector. There's a hand and a half sword from 1500 odd. German. So you want to buy that? And there's these New Guinea things, and yeah, there's some postcards featuring Washington, Fanning Islands, and Gilbert Nelson from Market Collector. You should look at that lot. Lot 2515. Intriguing photos in there. Then there's a lot of his literature, and then we go to the banknotes. Then, after all the notes, and there are a lot of good world notes, we go to Indian coins, more of Flynn stuff. But each lot contains 15, 20 coins, 24 coins, estimated about $10 each, and they're 1700s, 1600s in silver. So if you can start learning how to read them, you'll enjoy them. Colin certainly does. And he did the British India, which I put out here, Mark's best one, which is a pattern rupee of William IV. It's not a restrike, it's an original. Well, I've catalogued it as an original. He has. It's estimated at, where is it here? Look at the proof of the pattern. It's lot 3786. Is that right? Yep.
3786, yes.
It's estimated at 5,000.
3786.
What's that one worth?
5,000.
3786.
1834 pattern for the new silver coins.
$5 grand.
4,000.
I couldn't find it. I don't know where is. Bob must be answering a query. Lot 3811 is a half rupee Queen Victoria of 1884, Bombay, struck in copper, which no one's ever heard of. So that's creating some interest already. So he's got quite a lot of good. Then the 10th session, which is at 9:30 on the Friday. See, the run of the sale's a bit different from usual. We start with the war medals. more of the Bill Woolmer collection of Boer War medals, and then we go through other medals and bravery groups, some particularly good Australian bravery groups. But about several vendors. I mean, I know you're not that interested in war medals, but I thought I'd show you some. This is lot 4040, which is illustrated on the back cover of the catalogue. And it is,
Back cover, you can see it, yeah.
by the way, there's 3 Emden Mexican dollar medals in there. 4040 is
Oh, it's on the back cover. You can see it on the back cover.
it's a rare Australian Flying Cross to the Australian Flying Corps officer. So it's estimated at 20,000. That's it there.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
It's got the AFC badge, which is rare cloth badge.
Oh yeah, this one.
This one here, 4085, is... This is a Distinguished Flying Medal and Bar. It's a replacement copy
Oh, that's a lot.
for the bar. It's all detailed there with all the information. These medal groups are very well researched and documented and all that sort of thing. It's a very scientific hobby, collecting war medals, I tell you. Luckily I don't have to catalogue them, but you know, something happens to John, I'll be worried. He's 76 or something, you know. How long can we all keep going? Well, Les is proof that numismatics is good for the health. He hasn't changed. I mean, he 5 years ago looking the same. His hair's supposed to fall out, hasn't it?
92 in a few weeks.
I know, congratulations, well done. Incredible. So then after the war medals, we get into some police badges for the afternoon session from the collection we've been selling, followed by, would you believe, powder flasks and powder horns, and I've never seen so many. It's an incredible collection. The man who collects them is a Sydney guy. He's quite up, but he was buying back from Sotheby's in the late 70s, and he's got some weapons like spears and things from ancient times, ancient Egyptians and Neolithic times and whatever. Then we go into the ancient gold coins, probably starting at about 3 o'clock or so, or 3:30. And here's a nice...
That's on the Friday.
Yeah. So the ancients normally start in the morning, but they're starting late in the day and going into the evening.
Wow.
So this is a gold stater of Philip II, the father of Alexander the Great. And we've got some nice ancient coins in from a little estate where the person had them beautifully mounted in these special... I said, well, we can't photograph them in those. So we had to break the containers to get them. It's lot 4390.
4390.
And 4391.
Nice, I like that.
And was a nice thing. Very pleasing coin.
You're lucky that the rich people don't find out about my sale. That's why you're able to buy things. Because if they knew these were going up, they'd be into them. You know, they just would. Incredible.
I think some of them do know about it,
No.
Jim. Yes.
There's no evidence of it. This is a trihemistator of Carthage. It's estimated 15,000. It comes from our sale 91.
Horse on the reverse.
Yes. It's in electrum, so it's not strictly gold, pure. In a sale next year, I will have a nice gold one for you if you really want the gold one, but it'll be about 40,000. It's a beautiful coin.
It's got a lot of gold in it, though.
Yeah,
This
of
one,
course.
It's not that much silver.
4399, Pat.
Very nice.
4399.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking at it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We'll mark that one down for you. Just to show you that there's a usual run of good Roman gold aurii, not quite the $6 million class, but here's a $10,000 one of Antonius Pius. Lot 4410. And it has Roma seated on the reverse without any legend, so it's quite a neat coin, really.
Very nice.
Now, after the gold, we go into the silver, and there are some very good Greek silvers, including this coin of Akragas showing the crab on the reverse, a local delicacy, I suppose, that ran around this part of Sicily, Agrigentum. And that one's got a tag from the Goldberg's auction in 2002. And another vendor, separate from that vendor, gave us another coin with a crab from Sicily in a town called Motia, M-O-T-Y-A, however you say it. I've never had one before, and it's estimated at 5,000, very rare, and it's a nice crab on it.
Right, yeah, oh yeah. That's an island off the west coast, just a stone's throw from the coast.
Okay.
It's nice.
I went there a couple of years ago, that's why I know. And all those places, Akragas, all those.
Wow. Well, you should collect this series now.
Oh, I've got quite a few.
Oh, really?
But not one of Mocha, I must admit.
Okay.
That was funny, they told the story about some Englishman in the 19th century, he sort of owned the whole island of Mocha, and his house and garden still there. And
Wow.
I find those, yeah.
Be interesting.
It's very close to Masala, where they make the wine.
Ah.
Tell
This is a Seculo-Punic tetradrachm with the horse's head on the reverse and the palm tree behind it. It's estimated at 3,000. It was bought from Richard Welling in 1997 and came from our sale 64. So 64 was about that time. A lot of these coins, Colin catalogues from home. He's not coming into the office. He couldn't come tonight. It's too dangerous. They're all close to each other. Sandy wouldn't allow it.
You will?
He's well. His brain's working overtime. It's good. But he's got the problem of Sandy's wanting a new house where the one was burnt down. So that's he's selling his coins. You know, he's got it. But he's 81. How long can you keep going for? But I'd say health-wise he's good physically. He just had a bit of a setback, but now he drove in the other day to pick up a catalogue. This is a rather interesting large coin. This is a coin of the Macedonian tribes, the Duronis. It's a silver dodecadrachm, so it's 12 drams. Like 3 tetradrachms, I guess.
Is that a cow?
A dodecadrachm.
Yeah, 3 tetradrachms.
So a big massive silver coin, and it's only 9,000. Very rare. They're all very rare, aren't they?
So what grade do you put on that?
Well, Colin's catalogued it, so he's graded it as very fine and very rare. But that's the style of the coin, see.
It's got to be VF and maybe wood on the other side.
You can, like, grading is very, very difficult.
You've got to grade it so
Something like that, yeah.
Well, that side's VF, definitely. It's probably better than VF.
This one here, 4542, is a coin of the Peloponnesus island of Elis, a coin of Olympia. Now this is a very good coin in terms of importance, and it comes from the Prospero collection in New York in 2012. So it's a very good example. Rare piece from a famous collection.
This was they had the Olympic Games.
Yeah. It was purchased from Seabees in 1984 originally. It was in a sale in Munzen medallion in 1959 that realised 670 Swiss francs then. Yeah, it's a good coin. So there's more Roman coins, but I didn't show you those because you've seen them before and you saw the gold and silver, and you know, it's a very big sale and it's on in 2 weeks. And I can't read the catalogue in 2 weeks, but you know, I try. There's so many good Australian coins in there if you're just collecting Australian. You just got to look for them. I looked at one little lot that my son did, and I said, well, you should have really picked a couple of those out. But the guy gave us his stuff at the last minute. He's got it all in packets. We've got a full list. But in one lot, there's 2 Greek coins, silver Greek coins of, is it Otto? Yeah. Or George. George the First, is it? 1833 anyway. A drachma
George,
and a half
George
drachma.
was the first king, yeah.
Drachma and a half drachma. And they're EF. Well, nearly EF. They're in a lot for under $50 at 15 coins, Maria Theresa. So you've got to look at
George of
the.
Greece.
You've got to look.
George the First of Greece.
And there's Greek banknotes from the same guy, because he is Greek and he's Italian. And there's Greek banknotes in the world banknote lots, and I don't know how good they are. Simon catalogue, they're just albums and banknotes. So you've got to look at these things. And, you know, I'll probably restrict the viewing if you're wanting to spend too long. Rodney will be in charge.
All right.
Okay.
If there's a seat, you can sit
The
down.
viewing
If
starts
there's
on
not,
Wednesday
stay.
week, but, you know, obviously dealers that I know will come in and look earlier. We're marking up catalogues now, getting control of where everything is.
Are you having viewing on the weekend again?
Yeah, the weekend before the sale, I'll probably do it the weekend, which is next weekend.
This coming weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably do it.
It's coming
But, you know,
weekend and
you
the
have to
following
ring
weekend.
me, and if I like you, I'll let you in.
And officially, the
If I
viewing
think you're
starts
just
on
a
the
tyre
Wednesday.
kicker, I'll throw you out. So I'm busy. I've learnt to become grumpy. That's my nickname from my grandchildren. Not grandpa, grumpy.
Grumpy. Oh, right.
Were there any other questions for Jim about his upcoming auction?
This sale, by the way, which is a statistic you might be interested in, is estimated at 5.5 million hammer. So it's worth 6.5 million, which is a lot. I might show you the opal.
Yeah, show that.
Bob's going to get it for you.
Oh, good. I thought he might have been doing something else and gone to sleep or something.
Kettle on, Tony? Is it kettle on?
Yeah, I use a fancy kettle there now.
Yes.
Must be making some money.
No, they keep breaking down. So it's a replacement.
That was
But
all I could do to get the money in.
I didn't speak for too long, did I? I'd say at 9 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Here it is, the opal. I'll get Rodney to show you on the screen.
Leave the sparkler in the light.
As I usually do. Anybody want coffee, stick your hands in the air and I'll try and sort of work it out that way.
Coffee.
Too late.
Put your hands in the air for coffee.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6. The rest are teas.
Yes. Yeah. Too late for coffee.
There it is, in all its glory.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, wow.
That's the large. See, there are larger opals, black opals found since, but they're in rock form. You can only see a big rock.
Yeah.
You can't actually be
This one's
sure
been
you're going to
polished.
get. Yes, it's been polished by his wife, Denise. This guy, Gerard O'Brien, has been mining for years there, and he got this in a little place called Gothic City, they call it now, Gotham City.
434.15 carats.
The colour on that side, if you like blue, it's fantastic.
Yeah, blue and everything.
Be a nice thing to have in your
Fire,
cabinet.
they're all like the green's
Your
lovely.
collection, you could just.
You've got a glass on it.
In 1990, it was the biggest.
It's very pretty.
I mean, he told me that a lady was very interested in trying to sell it to the Chinese. I said, what was she asking? He said, I think she was asking a bit much, 10 million.
Maybe.
150.
I thought it'd be bigger than that, I really did, because the one I had at John Cornish's, you know, I thought it only went 70 carats, something like that.
Shaped like a heart.
But it was sort of about,
Yes.
that sort of
They're exceptionally
size.
hard to get down, I'm sure, because they break up.
nicer.
They break up, see. And the ones that they've found, they haven't been processed. And they're too, Bottoms had one up for
You've got to always tilt those, you know,
So
catch all
what's
the
the
fire.
estimate on that?
It is very nice. The more light,
You can arrange
the
terms.
more light, the better. Look at that. Yeah.
If any one of you guys
Jim's happy
buys
to
it, I'll
arrange
help you.
terms.
I'll help you with the finance.
I'm sorry, if I had 700,000, I'd be buying a coin.
Exactly.
May I, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely, Liz.
Some people love opals.
I'm not about open.
Well, if, we might just finish off the meeting and I'll present
You've looked at it more than I have.
with this certificate.
That's a blue opal. You don't get too many blue opals.
Oh, they call them black. don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but in the opals you don't get too many blue.
Have you? Yeah. Well, it's in all the country papers. They've put an article in all the country papers. Today.
I get that. My neighbour where I am now owns a property at Whitecliff.
You know, it's fascinating to have it. That's the only reason I've got it. Oh, don't drop it.
Don't drop the opal, better take it away.
I'll take it away.
Yeah.
Because they fracture or break.
Yeah.
Quite easily.
And then you'll have 2 lots for 700,000.
My insurance company tells me they insure coins. Not jewellery or... You don't know what the insurance company covers until you test them.
Get this.
Oh, yes.
Can I be there? Yeah. See, that's a chicken something.
Bless you.
Can I get a look at that rainbow pen? Can I get a look at that rainbow pen? Oh, yeah. Where'd it go?
What are you looking for?
The rainbow pen. Oh, here it is.
While everybody's quiet, I might just present Jim with the certificate of appreciation. Thank you very much, Jim. It was a pleasure to listen to all the...
You're very Thank you. In these COVID days, we're still shaking. We should do what the presidents do.
We'll close the meeting now, and Tony's bringing out the refreshments. So, but don't forget, next month we're back at Phil's house. December meeting is our
Display.
display contest.
So bring a plate and bring a display.
And yeah, bring a plate for the Christmas party.
Are you happy for us to bring a plate?